Mabbutt has gone forward with Stewart to the right, Lineker and Howes to the left. Is Gascoigne going to have a crack? He is, you know. Oh, I say! Brilliant! That is schoolboy's own stuff. Oh, I bet even he can't believe it.
if he says I may. I know that I'm living's no good. I'll get used sunshine daydream. Walk you in the tall trees, blowing where the wind goes, blooming like a red rose. Come on over, sweetly. While I'm singing, I've got you in the morning sunshine. Sunshine daydream. Sunshine daydream. Come on over, daydream. Sunshine daydream. Coming from a sweet dream. Sunshine daydream. Waiting in a cold street. Rolling out the window. Going where the wind goes. Never gonna lose us. Come